Like, I think there's a true problem with AI right now that people aren't really discussing and they're kind of neglecting. So let's put some context to this. A lot of people are talking about how AI are stealing, like AI art is stealing because it's based off other artists' works and so on. And first of all, like, that argument is just completely retarded and not thought through at all. Because every art is built on top of something else, and every artist has drawn inspiration from something else. So if you want to use that argument for anything, then you can only do it if you make art without drawing any references or inspiration from the outside world. But nobody does that. We are always inspired and building on top of what came before. An example of this would be like the Warcraft universe, for example. That is obviously based off Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. And he might have based it on something else. He most likely have. I don't fucking know. But almost all fantasy that we know today with elves, orcs, and dwarves and shit, that's based off Lord of the Rings. So anytime anyone has ever drawn an orc or anything, well, they've been trained on earlier. They've been trained on other artists, like products and so on. So it's the same. Like the only difference is a human looking at things and learning and improving instead of a computer. But like for some reason it's wrong when a computer does it, but it's okay when a human does it. And if you ever look at any like art tutorial or whatever, most of them will tell you to find source material and find inspiration, but don't copy, but use it for reference. Like, how does a hand look like? How does a head look like? What is anatomy? It's not like you're studying anatomy yourself. You're looking at these references, right? Just like an AI model learning things. It's no different. Except you're a biological being and you have feelings and you get sad when a computer does the same thing as you and you don't get paid to do it. So that argument doesn't make any fucking sense. That's just stupid. So I'm gonna ignore that argument just because it's too stupid. But the true problem with AI that nobody really talks about, I haven't seen anybody talk about this, and this is what I'm worried about the most, is that like the primary reason anyone creates anything and posts online like nowadays is not because it's not solely because of passion or interest or anything like that. It's more because there's a chance of like monetary gain, right? If you really like baking and you start making a YouTube baking channel, hopefully it starts off because you just like baking and want to share with the world, right? But most people probably do it because they want to be a YouTube baker who earns a living just baking on YouTube and sharing, or like playing games online or whatever, talking about random shit. Like some people will do it for free, of course, but a lot of information today, especially online, is posted and created with the hope of like some kind of monetary gain or the possibility of it. And when you remove those impressions and people going on the site and you just have one AI web crawling or crawling the entire web, like now you no longer get those ad impressions and you no longer get that ad revenue or visitors to your site buying your merch or whatever that you would have done if it was a normal human being, or a real human being going in there. So my concern is that removing this monetary incentive will reduce the knowledge production we have over the, like, it's not gonna start today and it's not gonna start this year, but we might start seeing the effects in 2, 3, 5 years, depending on how fast AI moves. And when we start seeing that people are no longer, like, it's no longer a viable business doing all of these whatever channels they're doing, because they no longer get revenue from the ads and visitors, then we start seeing knowledge not being generated as much. Because right now AI can do a lot of things, and it can create new things based on existing things. But I think we will need humans for a while yet to push new ideas and creativity and so on. So we will see a drop in new content because it's no longer viable. You will see your favorite creators and YouTubers and recipe creators and so on. You will see them having to stop doing what they love because they can no longer make a living off it, because nobody watches it anymore. And I think that's gonna be an interesting day when that happens. And I'm looking forward to seeing the conversations around that. But so far nobody is concerned about it and nobody is talking about it. And that's scary to me in a lot of ways. And I think, like, the companies positioning themselves as AI companies, they need to think about it, because if they don't have this data to build on and to provide to their users and so on, like, their AI models will also lose value in that time, and it will kind of stagnate for a while until the technology, like, frog leaps onto the next level, where it no longer needs the human input as much, and it can start creating something completely new, and it becomes more powerful, and it's no longer just about crawling the web and making, like, giving you the information more concise or structured in a different way. And that is what AI does today. Like, when you ask ChatGPT, all it really does is web crawling, like crawling the web, and then it finds the info you ask for, and then it gives you in a way that it believes you want. And I think that's completely fine. Like, I don't see a problem with that. But Microsoft and Facebook and Google and so on, they need to start to find a way where they can subsidize the revenue losses they are incurring on the creators of this information, just to encourage them to keep going. And that could be, instead of uploading it on random sites, they upload it now on the Microsoft portal. So now the Microsoft AI or AIs, whatever, can now use that data and deliver it. Like, wasn't it Google who bought Reddit's data and are training their AIs and Reddit data? I would probably have found better sources, but yeah, like, then they can just buy data from normal human beings, and you can get into, like, a creator program, like we see so many other places, where you can get maybe a fixed salary, or you can get paid based on how much that data is used and how relevant people found it, just like you basically do today. So if it's something people are searching for and they find the results nice, then you get paid kind of like ad revenue. And the problem with that is that none of these AI companies are anywhere near profitability yet under AI, so they have no interest or incentives in trying to like give money to other people because they don't have enough money for themselves at the moment.